Well, Eric, we may have an opportunity to visit with someone else here, so I'm going to see if I can bring him into the broadcast now. And Eric, turn it over to you.
Braden Chambers, thanks for taking the time here to visit with us and look back on the past of the GAC. Thanks for taking the time.
I appreciate the opportunity, guys.
Well, Brandon, just take us back to your time there at SAU. Excuse me, UAM.
Oh, that's UAM. Come on.
Whoa!
There's a rivalry now. It became a rivalry.
Just to be there for your for your 4 years and the success you guys experienced. Just what were those times like in Monticello?
Oh, it was awesome. It was real. We were a real tight knit team. I mean, we had really great chemistry all 4 years I was there. Even though we had several new guys coming in and guys leaving, and I mean, Coach Harvey, he took a lot of players that you wouldn't have thought we would have all kind of worked together really well, and we turned into a pretty good little group of players. We got along really well, and he knew how to put us all together.
So how did that mesh? You said you were one of the rare 4-year guys that went through there. It was so heavy on transfers and 2-year players. How easy was it to meld those guys into your lineup as you became, a 3rd and 4th year player?
I think what helped mesh us all together was just we all had that one goal was to make it to the championship, and even if it was in the conference championship, we just wanted to win and be a successful team. I mean, because in the past, UAM has been they haven't been known to be just a strong team, and we just knew that we wanted to prove everybody wrong.
So Brady said when you joined, your first year came right after UAM's first regional appearance. How critical was it to build off of that 14 season and make UAM into a baseball program rather than just a kind of a 1-year phenomenon?
I didn't contribute a whole lot my freshman year. I was just kind of a random guy. Like, I was kind of in the bullpen every now and then, and I got a couple starts. And I mean, it was just more of the experience of being around all the older guys that were in the regionals before me, and just watching how they carried themselves and stuff like that. I mean, them making it before me was a lot, I guess, easier for everybody else, because they kind of just taught the younger guys as we moved on how it all worked out, like how to do it.
Daniel, Joey, I'll turn it over to you guys.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, you were a part of some good programs, and I mean, laugh a little bit about freshmen, whether or not it was a big part then, but obviously you made your presence known. Talk about playing then again for someone like Coach Harvey, because you mentioned how he's able to put together a team and work with one well. He seems to continue to build from there.
Oh yes, sir. Coach Harvey's a great coach. I mean, off the field, I mean, he's the same guy off the field as he is on the field. I mean, you can call him in the middle of the night if you needed help or anything. And I mean, he'd come take care of you, and he was a great just role model and a leader.
Well, Brady, as part of this all-time team, you've actually found yourselves paired up with some former teammates there at Monticello, and Corey Wood and Sean Wagner. Just what are your first memories of thinking of what they did when they were part of the team?
Corey Wood, my freshman year, he took me yard 4 times in the fall series. He had my number. He threw everything, every single thing I threw all different pitches to him, and he hit them a long way. Sean was when I first met Sean, I mean, playing with him, I mean, that dude, he's a beast too. But he never took me yard though, like Woody did. Like Wood, that guy had my number, and Wagner was always on my team, so it kind of helped me out a little bit.
I'm sure that wasn't brought up every time you guys were you're trying to joke with him, and he always could point to that, right?
Oh yeah, it was brought up in conversations several times.
So, besides Corey, since clearly he knew what you were throwing, who in the GAC, was you knew it was going to be a difficult matchup, whether you got success or not, but who the team individuals that were always hard for you, or you knew it was going to be a challenge, I should say.
SAU was always a big one. SAU and Henderson, and especially like Arkansas Tech. I mean, it was just back and forth, so competitive. It was just a big rivalry between all of us. And I mean, SAU. I mean, they always ended up putting together some kind of little run. I mean, if I was making errors or anything I did wrong, I mean, they always capitalized on it. And those were the guys that I was probably always the most excited and nervous at the same time to pitch against. But I mean, it was always fun playing against them.
Well, certainly during that your 4-year run there, you guys did move yourselves to being the class of the league. And with it being that rivalry down close, had to make it extra special because the guys you saw, probably more than just that 3 games in at the end of the year. There was midweek games and postseason play. Just how ratcheted up were those games for those of us that were not privileged to get to see them all?
What was that? I couldn't understand. What would you say?
Yeah, just how intense were those games with SU? Because it is your rival being so close down there. You play them also probably in non-conference games midweek, and then you see them in the postseason. Just how different do those games feel as opposed to another conference weekend?
Oh, for the SAU, I mean, I know half the guys that play on that team anyway. I mean, I'm really good friends with a bunch of the players that were on my freshman year team, and then all the way to my senior year. I mean, I played summer ball with a bunch of them. I knew a bunch of them off the field personally, and so it was always just kind of bragging rights against them. And I mean, during the season, midweeks it wasn't near as competitive, but it was still a lot of tension there. But especially as later the season went on, and especially in postseason, I mean, it was really intense.
Well, Braden Chambers, a member of the UAM team from 2015 and 2018, thank you for taking the time to join us. The last question, ready to go here. How's your post-baseball career going, and where can we find you now?
I'll say now I'm working at Robert Automotive in Monticello. They were a big sponsor for UAM baseball team as I was growing up, and one of the guys is one of my managers. His son plays for UAM now, and so I'm still around the team when I can, but it's not the same now.
Well, again, fortunately, we're getting all 45 of you guys together in Enid for a reunion baseball round robin tournament, so you'll have to stretch out the arm and get it.
All right. When is that supposed to happen? I gotta have a time frame on that.
I think coming up at a universal date could be a little tough, but it is fun to hypothesize. Well, Braden, thanks again for taking a few minutes here to join us and look back at your time at UAM, and congratulations on being part of one of our all-time teams.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks. Be well.
Yes.